What's up, everybody? It's your girl Q1. I am back with Heart and Hustle Houston, Season 1, Episode 5, No New Friends. Before I start, make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe to the channel. Click the notification bell button so you can be updated on every video I drop. Make sure y'all like the videos so I can stay in the algorithm, y'all. So, here we go. Heart and Hustle, y'all. So, the episode picks back up. Y'all remember Shaniqua and Ro they had the tongue tussling at that bar or whatever, at the restaurant that night. Latoria was like, you know what? She got up and left. And I was like, I don't blame you, because I would have got up and left too. Okay? So Chloe said in her confessional, why did I invite Shaniqua to this ladies' night? Because you messy AF and you wanted some to pop off. And then Chloe said she was embarrassed. But are you though? Are you? Like, if you shouldn't have you know what, we gonna get there. So the next day, all the ladies meet up for lunch. Latoria says she's doing a dinner for women, celebrating and honoring 20 women, and she wanted to honor 2 women in a circle, which was Ro and Elena. She explains in her confessional why she wanted to honor each woman, and then once she explained why she wanted to honor each woman in her confessional, all of the ladies, well, not all of the ladies, but Latoria and Chloe discuss ladies' night and the situation that happened with Shaniqua. Now, I will say this. Low key, I kind of feel like this was all the ladies getting together, trying to figure out if they should bring Shaniqua on as a friend of. Like, I think that was that type of discussion, low key. I could be tripping, but I just kind of feel like that was what that was for. Anyway, they talk about the ladies' night with Shaniqua. Chloe says she felt really bad and partially responsible. And you should feel partially responsible. You should feel responsible because you was the one who told Shaniqua that Latoria didn't really know her like. Latoria said she didn't know her like that. So you put the battery in Shaniqua back. You may not have made her say all of those things and bring these old receipts, but you put the battery in her back to get the ball rolling. You gave it legs. Anyway, Ro, at this point, she starts to cry in front of the ladies. She said because she didn't want to be seen like that. And I think she didn't want to be seen like that on television as well. You know, because Ro is the type of person that's just been through some stuff. And a lot of times when we go through stuff, most people look at us as our situation. And they identify us by our situation. So I kind of understand that. And I like Ro. I like Ro a lot. You know, I like all the ladies, but I do like Ro. Anyway, Elena is with her kids. This is the first time we're seeing her kids. They are beautiful. She has a beautiful home. I love the living room and those pictures that was on the wall with her family pictures on the wall. I thought her decor was immaculate. And so her mom comes over. And I'm looking at her mama like, girl, that lady look like that look like your older sister, okay? When I tell you mama came in the door looking good, like she looked beautiful. She had the braces in her mouth. Like mama was giving, okay? Like she was. So she's not grandma, but she's simply was it Nene? I want to say Nana or Nene, but I think it was Nene, right? And her mom taught her, we found out, and it wasn't a lot that I input about this portion, but her mom taught her to start charging all of her friends when she was 16 to do their makeup, because she would see people come in and out of her house. And she was like, baby, you need to start charging. So her mom's dream for her is to be Beyonce's makeup artist. But she kind of came close because she did Beyonce's cousin. Now, I don't know if it was Pam. Okay, y'all know Pam who play on Sisters. I don't know Pam's real name. But y'all know that's Beyonce's real cousin if you did not know that. All right? So Elena tells her mom, you know, she's been journaling, learning more of self-care steps and, you know, things to help aid her in her self-care. So her mom was like, well, I know it's something that I didn't teach you, because Elena learned from her mom to always save face. Her mom did discuss that. She said, yeah, I may have learned to save face, but I saved face until I couldn't save face no more. All right. And then her mom really started to be transparent in the marriage that she was once in. And I just feel like Elena now needs to unlearn those behaviors. And those behaviors are really, really hard to learn. And it takes time, and it takes you being patient with yourself. But it's going to take her time to also unlearn those behaviors. Elena also states that when she's having conversations with her mom, and when she's with Josh, she feels like conversating with those two separately, because the relationship that she have with both of them mirror each other. And she said because she feel in both relationships that her feelings don't matter. And I guess that's that level of them not validating her feelings or her emotions. And so that's unfortunate. And that's what Elena is just... when I look at Elena, I feel like Elena just... something is busting to come out of Elena. Like, whoever she is from the core, it is busting to come out of her, because Elena has always been, in a box. She's always been safe, and I just want to see Elena in her true, authentic self. Like, it is something, y'all. I don't know if y'all see it. Y'all can see it. And we know that there are things that we can't visibly see, but you can feel energies and you can read people. And it is this, something is just really screaming to come out of Elena. Like, it's something in there is trapped down in there. That's all. And I'm rooting for my girl. I'm rooting for her. I like all of these ladies. I like it. There is not a lady that I don't like, but there is a lady on here. I will constantly correct these ladies if I see something a little flawed. Okay. So we get to Latoria's brunch. It wasn't nothing there. They have another conversation about Shaniqua, and that Shaniqua owes some of the ladies in the group an apology. Like I said, I feel like this is conversation about wanting to bring Shaniqua in as a friend of. And I think because the ladies maneuver from a certain standard, I don't think Shaniqua's going to be a friend of. Okay? So Labrina and Chloe talk. Labrina said her son suggests that he live with his dad. She has him on Wednesday, Thursdays, and Fridays, and his dad has him the rest of the days. She think him living with his dad is causing his grades to fail, and it could be anything. Because even when they did the flashback with her and her son, he just sat in there. And it may not be the dad. It may not be him living with the dad. It may not be, whatever she thinks. She just immediately think that it's the dad. And I am probably willing to say there is some frustration on Labrina's end when it comes to that dad. But it may be something at school. It's just, trying to work with your son and figure out what's really going on. I don't know. I have a theory, but I promise y'all, I'm not going to say. But, yeah, he's like most kids. You ask them what's going on and be like, I'm all right. It's nothing. And something is clearly there. Something is there, but I think for many reasons, they're always afraid to talk about what is really, truly going on. All right. And I want the best. I wish the best for her son. I do. And I just want to say, Labrina does not need makeup. Okay? Labrina is stunning. I love to see her face bare. Okay, y'all? She is gorgeous. Okay, and I just love to see it. All right. So Chloe talks about her relationship with Nico. She said that she's forgotten about Nico over the years and she's overlooked him, probably because and she said she had to take over, I'm sorry, he had to take over a lot of responsibility when her husband died. But she put the girls ahead of him. And I think when he was doing that, she looked at him as an adult and felt like she didn't need to look after him. She didn't need to do any of those things. She didn't need to check in because he got it together over here. And I may not have it together, but he got it. And you tend to forget about you forget about that. And that's unfortunate. That is unfortunate. Labrina gets emotional about, as she's listening to Chloe talk about her and Nico. Labrina gets emotional because she was like, at least you have your son with you all the time. And that, you need to, you need to put Jordan, your relationship, on a back burner and put your kids forward, especially Nico. Like, because he's the one that's not winning. It feels like he's not winning in, your emotional, he's not winning with you with your emotions. I'm just rewording it different. So Chloe talks about how Nico is frustrated about her and the Jordan situation. And we saw that on episode 1. Labrina said, when Labrina did tell her you need to put Jordan on the back burner, she was like, I think it threw her off because Chloe wasn't expecting to hear that, but I think Chloe wasn't ready to do that. Anyway, Chloe says she don't know the last time she told Nico that she loved him, but she do. She just don't say it often to him. So Chloe and Nico have lunch. Chloe said that since he's grown, they have to hang out more, and it was a cute lunch. I liked it. Chloe felt like Nico should have been there for her, but she don't like, and she said she don't like their current relationship, and that she understands and she realizes how Nico isn't her caretaker. But over the years, she felt like, Nico had to take care of her. So Nico felt like, even though he was going through his grieving process, all he had was his sisters in the moment. And whenever he was going through something. So Chloe told Nico that he's valuable and she feels like she's forgotten about him and that she haven't tapped in. And so for that, she apologized to him. And for me, and maybe I'm tripping, but there was a slight release from Nico as Chloe started to apologize and as Chloe started to explain herself and as Chloe started to ask for forgiveness. But I also feel like Chloe needs to forgive herself because you can tell that you can look at Chloe and visibly see she hasn't forgave herself, but she had to come to this conclusion that that's what she was doing. And I bet Chloe had been moving around so much and dating and working and being an entrepreneur and being a mom that she just didn't stop to think about and sit in her relationship she had with Nico and how, her absence, her lack of, and her pulling back from him has made him feel like, I don't know. Chloe probably is going to have a rough time forgiving herself, and it happens because that's a daily struggle because we struggle to forgive other people, let alone forgive ourselves, like, because we're hard on ourselves. So I don't know. I want Chloe to really, really work on that and really forgive herself. And I don't know if she's seeking any type of therapy, but I hope so. I will hope so. Nico said he's working through his mental health. And Chloe tells him that Jordan isn't a priority. She reassures him that him and his sisters are a priority and Jordan is not. Jordan is on the back burner. And so they talk about his rapping career, and she was like, well, if, and he was like, ain't no if, it's going to happen. So she was like, okay, I just want to help you. How can I help, aid, and assist you to to soar in this world. So I wasn't mad at that. Chloe said, I think she said in her confessional that she felt light. She felt lighter. And I think that is the turnaround of events. Once you have that conversation, when it really involves you and your kids, once you have that conversation and you put everything out there and you acknowledge your part and you take responsibility for your part and you change and you start to do something different, there is that level of heaviness start to move off your shoulders. I'm just telling y'all what I know. Anyway, Chloe, Ro, and Shaniqua meet up. Chloe asks what happened. She tells you ask Shaniqua what happened. Shaniqua said that Ro's energy was nasty. Chloe tells Shaniqua, in Ro's defense, Ro's energy is like that because she's very protective of, the people that she loves. Shaniqua said it started when Ro basically inserted herself while Shaniqua was showing those receipts to Latoria. And even when Rose came, she spoke on it and she said, well, we know Latoria isn't going to say anything. So she felt like in that moment she needed to speak up for Latoria. She needed to defend Latoria when it came to Shaniqua and all of these receipts. So at the end of the day, the ladies decided they wanted to squash the beef, and they both listened to one another to get a better understanding of who each other is, right? And so they squashed it from there, I guess. So when they got up, the look on Ro's face, now maybe again, I could be reaching, but the look on Ro's face said, I'm just, But it's all because Ro is the type of person who does not let people in willingly. Like, I don't know you like that. So I'm going to always be defensive around the people that I don't know. And I'm going to show up in a certain energy because that's a protective mechanism for me. I don't know you like that. And the way Shaniqua showed up, Shaniqua did show up extra. Like, she really showed up extra. So, yeah, it's like, why are you trying to be extra? Why are you, like... So people like Ro want to keep a close eye on the Shaniquas of the world. Okay, that's just my personal opinion, y'all. Tell me what y'all think. If you have not, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe to the channel on your way out. Bye.